guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or not skin tint review on this baby right here. So if you guys watched Monday's video, then you guys did see me try out this Morphe skin tint, and I was like, you know what, I want to give this product its moment because of two reasons. First reason was I picked up the wrong shade. The shade that I had was a little too dark, so I went with the shade below. Second of all, I actually really did enjoy this skin tint. Just like my very first impressions were positive, and I feel like, you know what, I want to give the skin tint its own moment. I want to actually wear it for the entire day, which is really focused on that particular product. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. I already went ahead and moisturized and did all that stuff. I actually am testing out Fenty Skin, so stay tuned. On Instagram, I did mention that I will be testing this out for 10 full days before I give you guys my true honest thoughts on how this performs on sensitive rosacea skin. So stay tuned for that in probably about a week or so. But we did all of that routine, so that's good. So right now we're just gonna be applying our primer. So we're gonna be using the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Primer. I've been a big fan of this, so this is what I've been using whenever I wear makeup. So I'm gonna be applying this all over just to prime the skin. The skin looks really good lately. I'm just like, yes, I'm here for you, skin. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the Morphe 2 Hint Skin Tint. Basically what this is supposed to be is a lightweight, breathable skin tint. It hydrates, it smooths, and it blurs the skin. And it basically is a dropper formula, so it looks like this. I did pick up this in the shade Walnut. The one that I had purchased before was Honey, if you guys watched that video. If you haven't, please stop this video and go watch that one because that will definitely just steer you towards the right direction. But this one is hint of walnut, medium with neutral golden undertones. The other one was a little bit too orangey, so I'm hoping that this will be better because it's neutral undertones. And I feel like I'm pretty neutral because I feel like my veins are like blue and green, because that's kind of how you go off of when you're trying to find out your shade. So like I feel like I can work with either or. It doesn't necessarily say, well, it says a natural radiant finish. So nothing too like dewy, but nothing too matte. It is a very runny consistency. I'm pretty sure this does come in 17 shades. They didn't have all the shades at Ulta. They only had certain selection of them. But I feel like with the medium shades, like for people that have olive skin, it'd be very hit or miss. So you just have to either watch reviews and find somebody that like is close match to you that you like that you enjoy watching to figure out what your shade is. Because obviously right now we can't go in store and try products or, you know, see the testers. So I would just be mindful. Okay, so I have to say, it looks so good. It looks really good. And I think that the primer on my skin, because I do have oily skin, I think it's helping it look a little bit more nice and in place and not so like radiant or dewy. Now I do just say when I did try it for that first time in my past video, I still thought it looked really nice. Even on my skin complexion, which you guys know that I do have oily skin, I still felt like it looked beautiful. This color is so much better than the other color. Like this is definitely my perfect match. I was really worried it wouldn't be because that other color was really orange. But then when I looked at the sample online, it looked like this color looked a little too dark, so I was gonna go either for this color or the other color, I think Toffee, which would have been way too light, I feel like. So I'm glad I decided to only go one shade down from Honey because I think this is great. I will have my shade references down below so you guys can go ahead and check that out. But you can see this is pretty much with one layer covered right here, and I think it did a great job. But the fact that this is a skin tint, I thought it was gonna be way more sheer, especially with this. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But I have to say, I like this formula and the way that this looks on my skin way more than I liked the Morphe foundation. It wasn't bad, it was definitely a very full coverage foundation, but I think that this skin tint is what they should have came out with to begin with because this is a beautiful formula. So I'm just gonna go in with a second layer and just build it up. I definitely do think that this skin tint is a medium full coverage skin tint. I don't think it's light, so I think that for people that are looking for a skin tint but still want really nice full coverage results, you're gonna like this. This gives you the skin tint finish that, like for example, an A Cosmetics tinted moisturizer would give. You guys know that those are pretty full coverage tinted moisturizers. This one is more lightweight. It kind of reminds me of formulas of like Giorgio Armani type of thing, like just a very lightweight situation. And even the packaging reminds me of like Armani. Like this is really good. From when I tried it the first time, I was very impressed. It's just that if you get the wrong shade, that can definitely throw you off and make you think that it's not gonna work for you. But like, look at that. It looks so beautiful. And obviously if you have really evened out skin, like I have pretty evened out skin on my forehead, and I just had to go in with one layer of it, and you guys can see it looks stunning here too, but it still looks so healthy. And even though we did go in with a more matte primer, I think that there's still a healthy soft radiance with it, with skin tint, with no skin tint. So now we're gonna go in on this side right here, and on this side I'm going to be using my sponge. So for sponge, I'm gonna be using my Araceli Beauty Bella sponge. You guys know this is one of my favorite sponges ever, and I'm just gonna begin applying the skin tint. So it applied amazing with a brush, but I want to see how to apply it with a sponge, because you guys know a damp sponge sometimes absorbs a little bit more of the product, so it can give you like a more natural finish, especially if you are working with like a skin tint. But wow, look, it still looks really nice, and it covered the redness immediately. So I would say personally, in my opinion, I think this is a more so medium full coverage tinted moisturizer. Like I feel like if you're looking for good coverage but still want something super lightweight, you're definitely going to enjoy this. And I think for $17, this feels really luxurious and luxe. So I'm really, like, look at that. With a sponge, you guys know that typically with sponges and skin tints, especially with the way how like sheer and watery this looks, you would think that it's not gonna cover, but that looks beautiful. Like for days where I'm just running errands and I want something really light, I would definitely just use a sponge and I would be in great shape, because I feel like this still looks like my skin. Like it literally looks like my perfected skin. This side looks a little bit more like full coverage, like I'm wearing foundation. Like let's say that in the morning, you know, for daytime, I just want to go with the sponge to give me that healthy, natural skin look. This is great. For the night, when I'm maybe going out, I want to retouch it and look a little bit more full coverage. The brush will definitely do the trick. So, I mean, it looks beautiful either way. And every time I think of the fact that this is $17, I'm like, okay, Morphe, I see you. Once you see it on, like the coverage looks so amazing on both sides. Like I am really impressed with this. And I feel like a lot of people are gonna sleep on this product just because I feel like a lot of people are like over Morphe, which I totally understand. I feel like we got to a point now where Morphe, like, it's always collabs, collabs, collabs. It's always like palettes, 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 and it's kind of like, okay. But I mean, don't sleep on this product because this is pretty damn good. Like it just looks and feels really good on the skin. It doesn't feel like I have anything on, to be honest. Like, I'm just really impressed with the coverage. What I'm gonna do now is finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys just my very first impressions, how it worked with the rest of my products, and then we can go ahead and start the day, do our check-in, do our in natural lighting clip, all that fun jazz, because I'm really curious to just fully focus on this skin tint and see how it does. So we're gonna do that, and I will be right back looking much better than this. Okay guys, so I am back. I completed my full face of makeup. We are fully snatched and ready for the day. So I just wanna go ahead and talk about this skin tint by Morphe 2, because I'm really loving how this looks. I mean, it looks pretty much as if it could be built up to a foundation. Like it's just such a good, beautiful product on the skin. It looks so stunning. Like it literally makes my skin look perfect. And I do want to talk about some of the products that I use that I feel like definitely made a difference. So all the products that I have on this face will be listed down below in my description box in case you guys want to check out like lip products, whatever it may be. I will have it down below. But I do want to talk about the fact that I did go ahead and use concealer. So today for concealer, I used my Fenty Beauty Concealer. And the reason I use this is because every other concealer that I was looking to use kind of was around the same tone as the skin tint, which I love that, but I like brightening effects, so I had to use the Fenty one because this one is very brightening against the skin tint. This one is in the shade 260. It applied beautifully on top of the skin tint. I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. I do have to say, when I was up close and just blending out the concealer, I did notice that my pores on both sides looked a little tiny bit noticeable, like more noticeable than when I wear like a foundation or something like that. So that just goes to show that this is like a skin tint. It's gonna cover, you know, the big things that, you know, you can see from a distance that you may not, you know, want, you know, to be exposed, like redness and stuff like that. But like the little small things like pores, you will definitely have to use like a pore minimizing primer or just really go in a little bit more full coverage. But it wasn't really intense, but it was definitely a little bit more noticeable. So I used that, and then of course I went ahead and just made sure that I powdered the under eyes. I always like to bake them because I do crease. So whatever leftover powder I had, I just put it in the areas where I tend to get very oily. So I went on the T-zone, powdered right here, a little bit on the nose, and then down the chin, and of course the smile lines, because the smile lines are where I get very, very oily with any product. So I always like to just go ahead and kind of further set them a little bit. And for baking powder, I am still using the Beauty Bakery flour one, which I've been so obsessed with. This is really great stuff. I use this one in the shade Translucent just because I feel like it works with everybody. It's very universal. One thing I do want to mention is that when I used this in my trying new makeup video, I had some trouble when I was going in with my cream contour. So I did use the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks, the creamy sticks, to just contour the face because I just purchased them, and they were making the skin tint separate a little bit. I think honestly it may have been the creaminess of the product and then also the brush, because I did get this brush and it is a little bit more thicker. So this time I went ahead and just used powder. I used the Fenty Beauty bronzer, and it's a powder bronzer, and I had no issues of it separating whatsoever on top of the skin tint. It applied really well. And then I just went in with blush and still had no issues. So I definitely do think that maybe be careful if you do go top of the skin tint with cream products, because they may separate a little bit, and if you don't like that, that may be an issue for you. So I would just kind of stay away from cream products with this. You can try it, but just be mindful of it. Maybe go in with your fingers and lightly tap it as opposed to using a really tight brush like the one that I used. That could have been an issue. Right now it is 3:25 p.m. So I'm gonna be wearing this for the entire day. You guys will see a natural lighting clip. You guys will see a check-in, and then of course my final thoughts at the end of the day to tell you if I think this Morphe 2 skin tint is worth the buy or not. Hey guys, so right now it is about to be 7 p.m. and I just wanted to quickly come on here to show you how the Morphe skin tint looks. You guys can see I'm in front of a window so you guys can kind of see how everything's looking. I feel like it looks pretty good. I feel like you can see a little bit more of my texture after it kind of like set into the skin, but I feel like it's because of the fact that it is a skin tint, so like it just kind of like covers the first layer. But other than that, I think it's holding up pretty well. My skin doesn't look too oily, which I definitely do appreciate, so that's great. And I think we're doing well, and it doesn't feel sticky, so that's good. I feel like when something feels too sticky, it's just not the best. But it's feeling really nice on the skin, and it's not coming off easily, which is another good thing, because you guys know with masks and everything, things tend to easily come off, but this still looks really good and in place. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is carry on with the rest of the evening, and then I'll see you guys at the end of the day for my final thoughts, so stay tuned. Hi guys, so I am back right now. It is 10:23 p.m. It's been a very long day since you last saw me. I really wanted to give this skin tint all of its wear, but I have to say I'm very pleased. Now we are looking a little bit dewy, obviously. It is the end of the day. It was a hot day. I was outside for some of the day taking pictures and stuff, so definitely got some radiance, but I have to say for the most part it looked really good, really healthy on the skin. I'm very impressed with this formula. I feel like for people that have dry to combination skin, I think you'll absolutely love this. I also think that people that have oily skin will enjoy this. Now I do have to say, obviously by the end of the day, if you do have oily skin, you will look like this, but to me I'm not bothered by it, because it wasn't until I want to say like 8:39 that I started to get much more dewy. through the day, I was honestly doing really well. Like, it wasn't really dewy. You guys saw my check-in. I look really nice and healthy. Now that I'm about to take off the makeup for the day, like, I am dewy, and that's okay. And even if I was to like go out and stuff, I could go in and blot it a little bit and have no issues, which I'm gonna show you right now. Like, just blot it a little bit, and bam, like, you're under control. I do want to say one other thing. This skin tint did really well with my mask. I obviously am wearing masks. We all are wearing masks. So I was really impressed that, like, you guys can see the product is still really nicely on my face. It didn't come off easily. The only area where it came off a little bit easier was the nose, but like I mentioned before, I've been having issues of product just coming off easier on the nose. You guys gave me some great suggestions, so I will be trying those. But that's pretty much the only area that I'm noticing that it transferred a little bit, but I can always go back in with a sponge and just fix it up. But since I'm about to go take off this makeup anyway, I'm not really pressed about it. But I think it looks really good. I'd say I'm very impressed with Morphe for coming out with a product like this, because this definitely stood out to me. I really haven't been the most into Morphe lately, just because I feel like they've been really repetitive on everything they've launched, honestly, and they do so many collabs that I just cannot keep up, and nothing's really intrigues me. But I have to say this skin tint is really good. I actually like this way more than the Morphe foundation. It's so skin-like, so fresh, and I feel like that's what a lot of us are into, more skin-like, fresh, natural-looking products. I think for the everyday person, you're absolutely gonna love this. Definitely recommend checking this out. You can find this at Ulta, also in Morphe stores. So I will have all my shade references down below in case you're wondering if it will suit you. All the information will be listed down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing my worth the buy or not foundation skin tint reviews. So let me know what you guys want to see next down below in the comment section. That always helps me out. Lets me know to bring you guys what you guys want to see. And if you guys are new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Jessica. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, to stick around and become a friend of me here on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss the videos for the world. So hit that subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell, because I'll make sure that you get notified as soon as I upload, because I mean, why would you want to miss it? So yeah, go do those things. And that being said, I love you guys so much. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.